Assalamu alaikum, everyone. You are live with us on Ramadan Radio with myself, Humera. For those of you that don't know me, I also go by the name of Strong by Humera. I'm actually a personal trainer and I love making women lift weights. That is what I do. Um, Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. Ramadan Kareem. We are about, how many days in are we? Are we 8 days in? We are about 8 days in, aren't we? Yeah, we are about 8 days in. I hope that everyone's having a beautiful and blessed Ramadan. I do hope that this Ramadan, everyone's bringing about some sort of change in their lives. Remember, Ramadan is 1 month, and that month actually sets you up for the whole year. So the habits that you create, the small healthy habits that you create this year, set you up for the whole year. So inshallah, let's try and make small habits daily, consistent habits that we can use with us in the rest of our year. One of the things that I talk to my clients about all the time is how we eat. And I think when we're fasting and at iftar time, we tend to stuff ourselves. So I just hope that everyone is not doing that this Ramadan, not stuffing yourselves. Remember, Ramadan, Islam is all about moderation. Eat in moderation, keep it balanced. And also, when you eat mindfully, you will be able to do better ibadah. So it all comes hand in hand. Looking after your body is an amana. Eating healthy actually then means you can pray better and you can focus better. And I'm one of those people, whenever I've eaten just a little bit more, I can't focus on my salah. So I don't know how people do it actually. And also training is one of those things that I advocate for, which is amazing because you're looking after your body. It's a gift from Allah, and this body is an amana. So when you look after this body, it's a form of ibadah, and then in turn you can then actually make more ibadah because you're more focused and you have more energy and you feel more active. So let's try and stay lean for our deen. All right, guys. So moving on the show today, we have with us Hannah. And our topic today is actually medicines and more. And Hannah also goes by the name Pharma Drama. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure nobody knows actually, Hannah is actually one of my clients. And when she first started with me, I know how she felt about lifting weights. But alhamdulillah, she's been training with me for over a year now. And even though she complains in the sessions sometimes, she absolutely leaves with the biggest smile on her face. And I can see her energy levels. She's buzzing. So yeah, Hannah, welcome to the show. Jazakallah for being with us here today.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hannah, would you tell us a bit about yourself? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, so that was such a nice introduction already. Thank you so much. Jazakallah. Yeah, so I'm Hannah, and on Instagram, I'm Pharma Drama, and I'm a pharmacist. I work in a hospital, specifically in cancer care. That's what I'm specializing in. And I post online about my journey as a pharmacist, sharing advice, giving an insight into what we do. I feel like a lot of people don't know we exist, let alone know what we do as hospital pharmacists, and sharing advice and information about medication and everything to do with pharmacy and healthcare. Yeah, that's me.
So, Hannah, tell us a bit about your role as a hospital pharmacist. So, what is a day in your life like?
Yeah, so as I said, I feel like a lot of people don't really understand the importance of our role and our contribution towards the healthcare team. But basically, if you go into hospital, I mean, inshallah, none of you do. But if someone wants to go into hospital, then a big part of your treatment is probably going to be medication. So pharmacists are specialists in making sure that medicines are safe and effective and appropriate for each individual person. We do a lot of work on the wards. So my job is very ward based. I work in oncology, so in cancer care. So I work in a cancer ward, seeing the newly admitted patients, um, reviewing the discharge letters, so the medicines to go home, and looking and keeping up with the reviews for the patients who are on the ward, making sure that they're receiving their medication, making sure it's the right medicines, consulting doctors, nurses about the medication for the patients, looking at drug charts. So there's a lot to the role.
Wow,
That's
that's a
sort of
lot. That's a lot already. I'm just like,
that's
man.
not even everything. That's just
Wow.
one part of the job.
Mashallah, that's a massive like role you play, and a huge responsibility as well.
Yeah, and I think traditionally, pharmacists were a bit more behind the scenes, so we weren't as present or as in front of patients as much. So I think that's maybe why people don't really notice that we're there or realize that we're there all the time. But if we're not right in your face, then we're definitely working behind the scenes. For example, in cancer care where I work, I also work in the labs where we make the chemotherapy, we make the medication. So there's lots that goes on behind the scenes there and people don't always realize. But yes, if you are in hospital or if I heard once a pharmacist said, if you are somewhere where there is medicines, there is a pharmacist there too.
Amazing. I do remember when I was in A&E once. Do you remember? And I think I was just chilling there waiting, and then I remembered I was like, "Oh, Hannah works here," and I was like, "Let me just give her a call and see if she can come and chill with me on my lunch break." So yeah, when I'm in if I ever Allah, oh my God, no, that should never happen again. I don't want to get injured. Um, so Hannah, for those
Yeah.
who don't know you yet, who is Hannah beyond being a pharmacist?
Yeah,
She
so
does train with me, guys, so she does lift weights. So that's one thing she does beyond being a pharmacist, which I'm so proud of.
we'll get to that. Yeah, so I have my account Pharma Drama, where, as I mentioned before, I post about um, pharmacy and healthcare content. I share kind of what I do in my day-to-day life. I once heard someone say that pharmacy are like the unicorns of the hospital. People don't know we're there, but we work our magic. And I guess my page is about showing what that magic is. And yeah, that's kind of what I do.
I love your
I guess
posts. I love your posts, and they're so inspiring.
exactly.
For
Yeah, I guess
someone,
I'm a bit. Sorry, gone.
for no, I said for someone who doesn't post enough, you're definitely an inspiration. Like I look at your posts and I think, oh man, like how does she do that?
I don't know how I do either. I'm online too much. But yeah, as you said, I trained with you as well. So I think I started like in 2024. Um, I actually went for pilgrimage and realized I'm so unfit. And I was like, I need to change, especially working in healthcare where I'm promoting a healthy lifestyle, staying fit, eating healthy. I feel like it's a bit hypocritical to not be doing it myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started training with you, and I love Humera.
You
She's
don't like
amazing.
exercising. Just say it straight. She doesn't like exercising, guys. Like she comes in with this face. Like, what are you gonna make me do today?
So exercise is supposed to release happy hormones like dopamine, but I personally don't get that release. I don't enjoy
What are you
working
on
out.
about? You look so, guys. You know what? She actually, she looks so happy when she's training. Once she's in there, she comes in with a bit of a face, and then once she's there, she's buzzing. You're loving. You've
That's
been
just thanks
lifting
to you.
weights, and you're laughing, and
That's thanks to you, Humera. Allahumma barik.
I'm glad I
You're a
can
great
make it an
personal trainer.
enjoyable experience for you training with me, and inshallah you stay with me forever.
Inshallah.
So, Hannah, what made you start sharing content as Farmer Drama? You did kind of touch on that right now, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I started it as a student. It was more to just like share notes with people and um like engage a bit with people like pharmacists in other universities, and then I went into my training year and other people started like looking at my page and I was like, oh, people are interested. um and I guess that's kind of where it started off as like more of like a blog style thing, with me just sharing my experiences and advice, and I've kind of stuck to that same thing. But I guess in the past couple of years I've taken my role as a content creator more seriously. So like working with like brands, and recently I made a post for the Department for Health and Social Care, promoting awareness of medicines and conditions, and also breaking down a lot of misconceptions about medicines that are online. And there's a lot of misinformation, especially with social media being a big thing right now, which I think we're going to be touching on in
Yeah,
this episode.
definitely coming to that because I'm one of those people as well. Like everything you see online is like oh, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. All these medicines that get put online, and supplements, and there's just such a hype of what supplements we should be taking, and I think people get overwhelmed. I do
Yeah.
myself. Like, I look at that as a personal trainer, and I'm like, and then I think, wait a minute, am I doing it right? Do I have to be taking about a million things? Like, there's this shred and that shred and this fat burn, and I'm like, nah, I don't. Yeah, I think you've just got to make sure you're getting the knowledge from the right people, contacting the professionals, and making sure that you know what you're taking. Um, so, Hannah, moving on, one of the things that we are going to touch on today, that Hannah's going to share that she has knowledge on, is people that take medication whilst fasting. How would you, what's the first thing you'd advise someone who is fasting but then needs to take regular medication? Is it always safe to just move medication to suhoor or iftar, and someone that's taking medicine, like, say, has to take medicine 3 times a day? How do they, how do they do that? What do they
Yeah,
do?
so this is something I do come across at work. And obviously, as a Muslim, I understand the importance of fasting. Firstly, I'll make a little disclaimer. I'm not a scholar. I can't provide any Islamic information. Um, but from a healthcare professional point of view, there are, of course, exceptions.
Yeah.
If you are taking critical medication, um, or if you have specific conditions that if you're going to fast it would impact your health, then obviously you don't need to fast. We're not supposed to be fasting if it's going to make us unwell. So that's the first thing to sort of mention. In terms of medicines, um, if you have a long-term condition and you're taking medication for it. So we're thinking of things like diabetes, heart failure, hypertension, so high blood pressure. Um, you're by not eating, so by fasting, we tend to get dehydrated. And so being in that state can make your condition worse, especially with diabetes, which is obviously related to blood sugar levels and eating. So it's not really appropriate or safe to just directly switch over whatever you're taking into a new routine of iftar and suhoor. So if you have a condition like that, then definitely be speaking to your healthcare providers or your pharmacist or your doctor. And also, if you have certain medicines which are time critical, so you're normally told about this. For example, epilepsy medication, you have to take it at specific times, um, otherwise you're at risk of getting a seizure. So with those situations, again, you need to be speaking to your healthcare professional before changing your
My
routine
fasting
around.
routine, yeah.
I mean, we are like a week into Ramadan, so hopefully, inshallah, you would have already done that if that resonates with you. But on a more general level, if you're taking multiple medicines, a really important thing to bear in mind that I would be thinking about as a pharmacist is medicines can interact. A lot of common medicines can interact with each other. So even things like iron, calcium, levothyroxine, which is for thyroid disorders, PPI, so omeprazole and zoprazole. These are commonly used medicines that can interact with each other. And so they need to be used at separate times. In that case, you can still fast, but you need to be making sure that you're not taking them at the same time. Otherwise, one of them might make the other one less effective. If you Something else to consider is the timing of your medicines. So some medicines need to be taken in the morning, because they might either cause sleep disturbances if you take them later on at night. And also, some of them need to be taken at nighttime because they cause like dizziness or drowsiness.
Mm.
So it's better to take them at night. Again, these are things that you can still fast, but you just need to be mindful of how
You're
you're
taking it,
taking
yeah.
medicines with a new routine.
Mm.
And then another thing to consider is that some medicines need to be taken with food and some medicines need to be taken without food. So if you need to take a medicine with food, we're thinking of things like ibuprofen. I mean, you can take ibuprofen without food, but it's better to take it with food.
Mm.
Naproxen, steroids. These medicines can cause like tummy related side effects. It's better to take them with food. whereas other medicines are better on an empty stomach to help with the absorption of them. So things like iron tablets, for example. So again, you can still fast, but it's about making sure you're still taking your medicines appropriately. And then the last thing that you mentioned yourself was if you're taking something that's like 3 times a day or 4 times a day, it's not really appropriate to just, if you've been prescribed something that's 3 times a day or 4 times a day, it's not appropriate to just try and take them all at Zephyrius or at iftar time. You need to be speaking with your pharmacist or doctor. Sometimes we can change the dosage around so that you only have to take it twice a day. But at other times, you might need to just switch you to a different medicine, which has a different dosing regime. So yeah, it's about being mindful of your specific medicines and the specific requirements for them, and having an open and honest conversation with your healthcare provider, with your doctor, with your pharmacist.
Wow. So for anyone that is obviously taking medication and obviously has to, and also wants to fast in Ramadan, and you're not, your condition is not that bad where you know fasting will cause you harm and stuff. I hope that that is helpful for you with whatever Hannah shared right now, and you're able to take your medication according to the times and doses. But again, please do speak to your healthcare providers and make sure that you are taking your medicines properly. Hannah, why do you think there's so much confusion around medicines and supplements online today?
Well,
That's a big one.
it's a big one. Yeah, so I think a lot of people, especially within healthcare, we've seen like a rise of misinformation online, and a
100%.
lot of myths regarding health
I've
and
just got some
medicine.
messages coming in. Sorry, I'm just looking at. I'm not distracted. I am listening to you, Hannah, but it's just because the message came in. Someone said, "What was the first one?" Someone said, "I think that was my sister actually. I think that was Zara." She said, "Yes." She says, "Oh, I like that. Being lean is part of your deen." And the second one, someone said, "What's the second one? Does it come up? I can't remember what the second one is. Okay, it's not. It's gone. Oh, there. Yes, Humi, go on. I don't know who that is though. Okay. Anyway, Hannah, carry on.
You got your shout outs. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of misinformation online. I think there's two big reasons for it. Firstly, the rise of social media. We have these days a lot of wellness influencers, a lot of natural living, clean living influencers, and a lot of these people don't have healthcare professional qualifications and don't have the right professional knowledge to be giving healthcare advice. But by having social media, it means that they are able to just say whatever they
And
believe.
share what they that basically like
Yeah,
their opinions on it or
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And they can come across as very professional, and people can, if you're part of the general public and you don't work in healthcare, you might take what they say as being quite truthful and seeming quite correct and making sense. So I think that's one reason why there's a lot of misinformation online. The other thing is I feel like we're living in an age where there's a lot of mistrust with between the general public and healthcare professionals, and this has come from, COVID, big pharma conspiracies, government issues. I think there's a lot of different reasons
I'm
for
smiling
it.
because I know that I've said some things in the past.
Yeah, no, but I do come across it where
Yeah.
people in hospital might refuse to take medicines or might not trust what their doctor or what the health professional has told them. And I think I'm completely all for empowerment of the patient. Like, if you're a patient, you should feel like you know everything, you understand the options that you're being given, everything's been explained to you well, you've been listened to. But there also needs to be an understanding that as healthcare professionals, we are here to help you, especially in
Exactly.
the NHS. We don't get paid that much. So we are, on the whole, healthcare professionals do want to help you and want to make you better, um, and give you the correct advice. So yeah, I think there's a bit of a mistrust, and then people turn towards alternative remedies instead of trusting the science-backed, evidence-based medication that we have.
Hannah, someone's asking, ask Hannah, does she know oncology pharmacist called Saud Ahmed based here in Leicester too?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I don't know why someone's asked that, but yeah. Yeah, Hannah does. She knows someone called Saud Ahmed.
Shout out to him. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's kind of why I think there's a lot of misinformation online right now.
Yeah, so guys, pharmacists are not there just to overdose you with medicine. So don't take it like they're just there to just bulldoze you with medicines. Because I personally, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I don't go to the doctors anymore because I'm just like, oh, if I go, they're just gonna give medicines. Like I'm not getting the cure for whatever's wrong with me. So there's a question, Hannah. Question to Hannah: isn't this more because people are educating themselves more, hence the use of online platforms, and think that medications aren't the answer for it all?
Yeah, so I'm a very like holistic believer that if you don't need to take some medication, you shouldn't be taking it. I'm always speaking to my patients like, do you really need this? Maybe we can take this off your chart. And the key is that is the word holistic. So medicines don't sort out every problem, and prevention is better than cure. And as I said, I completely agree with uh, the general public, so patients feeling empowered, going online, getting resources. When we discuss like in the rest of the conversation, I'll be sharing some resources myself
Mm.
because I completely agree that patients should be able to find good information and make those decisions for their own health. But the issue is where when you're looking online, but you're maybe not looking at the best resources because there's so much information online.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot harder to distinguish what
What
is
is,
truly evidence based.
yeah,
Yeah, I see a
exactly.
lot of
Yeah,
influencers who will say, I recommend this and I sell this as well. You can buy it from my
yeah,
link.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and there's a study that shows that it works. But as a healthcare professional, in my degree, I learned about a randomized control study, meta-analysis, what makes a good study, what does evidence basis actually mean versus one study. And if you're part of the general public, you might not have the same understanding that we as healthcare professionals have. So yeah, it's really about being empowered, but having the right resources and the right information to make those decisions.
Hmm. Moving on, Hannah. I wish we had more.
Mm.
I'm looking at the time. Time's never on my side, man. Anyway, so okay. So moving on. Um, as a PT, I often get asked by my clients which supplements are the best to take for muscle recovery, for muscle support, not losing muscle mass, and just overall health. Like, what are the daily vitamins and supplements? And there's a hype. There's a lot of hype right now online around one of the main ones that I'm sure everyone knows about, creatine. Supplements such as NMN is like the new anti-aging tablet supplement that people are on because everybody wants to look young. Right? And then there's magnesium, vitamin D, and ashwagandha. What do you advise about these supplements, Hannah? And when should they be taken every day? What to look for in labels? Could you like break this down for us?
Yeah, so um, if we're looking at taking supplements, so a supplement is basically anything additional to your diet. As sort of general points to consider, firstly, just going back to what I was saying about a lack of trust within modern medicine, let's just remember that the wellness
Abu
industry.
Bakr in the studio is just asking. He goes, "Will he lose hair with having creatine?" By the way, that's the reason I stopped having it. So was taking creatine, and then I saw a post online with some guy saying that he started losing his hair, and then I stopped taking it, and then I've started taking it again because there's just a crazy hype about it again. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know. Hannah will answer your question just now, Abu Bakr.
So yeah, with the wellness industry, it's actually a big, which includes things like herbal remedies, complementary therapies, extra supplements. That whole industry is worth about $7 trillion, whereas the pharma industry is worth about $2 trillion. So there is a lot of money to be made in this area, and I
Wow.
think maybe your listeners might be a bit disappointed with some of my answers, because I'm not going to be giving very exciting answers that you should try this one thing that's going to change all your health problems. I'm going to be giving you the evidence based,
Realistic stuff, yeah.
yeah, the realistic stuff. And honestly, like, the realistic stuff is kind of boring. Like, it's much more fun to hear that you can take some green pill that's just going to cure all your problems versus eating healthy and exercising. But that is kind of the best thing, the most healthiest thing to do. But yeah, so as a sort of general rule, if you have a supplement that has a lot of evidence behind it that it works, and that we have specific trials that can prove that it does its job and that it's safe, it will probably become a medication, like a prescribable medicine. Most of our modern medicine comes from plants and herbal remedies that were traditionally used. So when we talk about supplements and herbal treatments, we're looking at things that have some evidence but do not have enough evidence to become licensed. And this is a really important distinguishment to make, because herbal treatments in this country don't have a proper regulatory process. There is one thing, if like a herbal medicine is stocked in a shop, so like in Holland and Barrett, it has to have a traditional herbal registration. But if someone is just making something at home, they can literally put whatever they want in a capsule, slap a label on it, say it's ashwagandha, and sell it to anyone. So you really got to be careful online when you're looking at herbal supplements. Whereas with modern medicines, they go through a full licensing process. We have a whole governing body called the MHRA, which regulate this process. So I just want to make that distinguishment clear. But personally, I'm not against the use of herbal medication. I'm not against the use of using things alongside modern medicine, as long as it's used safely. And the last thing to mention, as like a general thing, is that just because something is a herbal or a natural, or it's not a prescribable medicine, it does not mean it's safe. A lot of these herbal treatments interact with common medicine. So even like green tea can interact with medicines. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And also these herbal treatments do still have side effects. They can affect your liver, they can affect your kidneys. And so it is really important, if you are taking anything like this and you're seeing your pharmacist, your doctor, if you go into hospital, it's really important that you mention to them that you're taking these things, so that they're aware. So yeah, they're the general points, and then we'll go on to the specific things that you mentioned. So the first one you said was creatine.
Creatine, yeah.
Yeah, so creatine is actually one of the most evidence-based and researched supplements that we have. Because I'm a bit of a geek, I'll quickly explain how it works. So we have something in our body called ATP, which is it's a molecule that releases energy, and it's stored in the muscles. But because it's quite unstable, we only have a little bit of it in our muscles. So when we're exercising, ATP is releasing the energy for our muscles to move. So what creatine does is it recycles the ATP so that we can have high intensity workouts for longer. So that's why it's traditionally been sort of seen as like a gym bro supplement, and it's been very associated
single
with
person
exercise.
that I know that trains is taking creatine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually now, as I said, there's a lot of research behind it, and there's research to show that it can help with like general health and well-being. So it can support things like cognition, so like decision making, fatigue, your neurological function. It can, as you get older, we lose muscle mass. There's some evidence to show that it can stop that loss of muscle mass. It can help with like skin health, mental health. So there is quite a bit of research to suggest that it can help in quite a few different ways. So inshallah, for me, that's one of the supplements that I'm planning on trying this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it like I said, it's not a prescribable medication. It doesn't have the licensing, and it doesn't reach the standards of being a medicine, but there is quite a bit of evidence to show that it has positive effects and that it's safe. So the recommended starting dose is about 3 to 5 grams per day.
Yeah.
You can have up to 30 grams safely. There's evidence to show you can have up to 30 grams, but you don't need to take a starting dose. You just need to start at a lower dose and then increase your way up.
Yeah. Hannah, can I just 1 second?
Yeah.
I just want to ask the guy if Abu, is it Abu Bakr? Are we are we not gonna be able to add time? Just like maybe another 10 minutes. You got you. It was those technical issues here. You guys got me starting late. Yeah. Oh, wicked. Okay. Yay, we got time today. All right. So they have agreed to add more time on. So it's because everything you're saying has just got so much information, and I think it's just so beneficial to everyone that's listening. And I think that 35 minutes is definitely not going to be enough. So yeah, I'm just making sure that we can have more time. So
Okay.
carry on, Hannah.
How much time do we have?
Right now it's showing 6 minutes 30, but I'm sure they're gonna add more time on. I'm sure they're gonna add on. I'm sure they're
Well,
gonna
I'll
add on
try and
another
go.
10 minutes. When it gets to about, yeah, I'll tell you, but we've got time. We're all right, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's basically creatine. To be honest, I don't actually know about too much about the hair loss thing. But
I
just
did
because,
I did a bit of a trial and error. I'm not gonna lie. So I
yeah,
was taking creatine, but at this point, I was having a lot of hair loss, and then I stopped taking it because I watched that video, and then I don't know, but the person that spoke was kind of, I don't know, he looked reliable, so I just thought, okay, you know what, let me just stop taking it, and then I then started doing stuff like oiling my hair and just working on my hair health. And I noticed my hair was okay. And then I started taking creatine again. So let's see now. It's been about a month that I've been taking it. So inshallah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
hopefully not.
like with other medication, supplements do have side effects. Just because it's not something that you can get prescribed, it doesn't mean it doesn't come with any side effects. So, yeah, if you try something and you start experiencing like hair loss or
Mm,
stomach aches or something, then
mm,
it could well be linked to the supplement that you're trying.
mm.
And like as you mentioned, you were like, oh, you saw a video and the guy looked reliable.
Yeah.
This is what I mean
See,
by,
yeah, that's exactly how I felt. So see, we just kind of
yeah,
believe whatever we listen to and what we watch.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of where the issue can lie
Mm,
with getting the right information.
mm, mm.
So the second one you mentioned was NAD.
Yeah.
So NAD is another molecule that we have in our body. We use it for like DNA repair, anti-aging, and metabolism. And if you have high levels of NAD, it can carry out those functions a lot better. But as we age, we naturally lose NAD, which is why nowadays there's a big hype around taking supplements. So as you age, you don't lose the amount that you naturally would.
Mm.
Um, NAD is so NMN is also a supplement, and NMN is basically the precursor, so it gets converted into
To
NAD.
NAD, right? So
Yeah,
that's because I was always confused with a lot of
the
people
link.
said that they would inject NAD, and then there's a lot of people that would say that they just take NMN. So I
Yeah, so
was,
NMN actually has more research behind it,
hmm,
um, but there's not a lot of research behind these two.
that's
So
the issue. Yeah.
yeah, so there is some studies to show that it can help with like longevity and anti-aging, um, but a lot of it is theoretical. There's not a lot of like trials with humans with some taking it, some taking a placebo and seeing an actual difference.
Hmm.
And there's because it's only become a recent hype, there's not really much evidence to show long-term benefit or long-term safety. We don't actually have the evidence to say that it's completely safe to use.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you're thinking of taking it, there is a bit of evidence behind it. But what I would actually suggest is instead of spending money on a supplement for NAD, NAD is made using vitamin B3 in our body, which we obtain from our diet. So food like chicken, fish, mushrooms, eggs, that all contains vitamin B3. So instead of spending your money on a supplement, I would actually recommend just eating more food that's rich in vitamin
I didn't
B3.
know that. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, this is
That's
the thing,
amazing.
because the
Yeah.
wellness industry just wants you to buy their
Yeah, yeah,
supplements.
like we can get all this stuff from the food that we eat, the vegetables, and I just feel like
Yeah,
it's just
100%.
become right now everyone's just high on supplements. Like I need to take this, or this will make me feel better, and this is better for my bones, and this is better for my skin, and I look younger, and yeah,
Yeah, so
it's
this is
crazy.
the thing. If you know the science, then actually you can probably get that NAD boost from your diet. It's a lot cheaper.
You're
It's a
not even
lot
saving money,
more
man. Right now, I've been
natural.
spending like 30, 40 pounds on like supplements.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly. You can just add it to your iftar. So the third one that you mentioned was magnesium.
Yeah.
So our body does require essential electrolytes and minerals. So sodium, potassium, magnesium is one of them. And you can get clinically low magnesium, so it's called hypermagnesemia, and you can end up in hospital for it. And in those cases, we'd be given IV drips of magnesium. But if we're talking for a generally healthy person that's looking at taking magnesium supplements, there's some evidence for and against it. I actually take magnesium myself. So just to break down a couple of little facts for you, we obtain magnesium from our diet. So plants like leafy vegetables and nuts contain a lot of magnesium. So we should be able to get enough from our diets. However, in recent years, the soil in this country has been depleting in terms of magnesium levels. So there is a theory that we're getting less magnesium from our foods. Also, magnesium is mainly stored in the bones, not in the blood. So if you get a blood test and your magnesium level is fine, it might not actually indicate that the full amount of magnesium in your body is fine. So that's not to say you need to complain to your doctor that you've got low magnesium if your blood test is fine, but it's just something to keep in mind. It's an interesting fact. So, for example, for me, my magnesium is borderline low, which is one of the reasons that I take it. So magnesium is used for a lot of different reasons in the body. It's used for heart health, used for muscles, used for the nerves. So used for different things and for the bones as well. And so it can benefit different parts of your body as well. There's different salts of magnesium. So magnesium taurate, magnesium citrate, and the evidence shows that for these specific salts, of the specific benefits. So if you want to take a magnesium supplement, you kind of need to know why
What
you're
each
taking
one
it.
is good
Yeah,
for.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I can't go through all of them right now, but for example, magnesium glycinate is
That's the one I was going to ask about.
so that one's been shown to help with sleep. Magnesium taurate is shown to improve heart health. But again, as I said before, you should be able to get enough magnesium from your diet. There's not really much harm in taking the supplement. So one of the things that there's a bit of evidence for is that it can prevent migraines, which is why I take magnesium supplements. So there's not really harmful to take it, but I wouldn't take it expecting it's going to cure all these problems. And the NHS actually, there's a really good NHS website. It's just the NHS vitamins and supplements page, which breaks down every vitamin, every electrolyte and mineral that you can take. So they recommend to take 400 milligrams or less. If you take too much magnesium, it can cause side effects. You can end up overdosing.
Wow.
It can cause diarrhea.
That probably explains why I was so sleepy all the time, because I think I was taking like 2 tablets every night. And then I was like, I'm just tired, even though I've had enough sleep, and I didn't get why I was sleepy. But I take magnesium glycinate, and because I read the benefits online on TikTok videos and stuff that said that magnesium glycinate helps with cramping, period cramps. It just helps with muscle aches. It's better recovery for your bones and muscles if you're always tired. So
so magnesium, one of its functions is that it's used in the muscles. So if you have low magnesium, same with potassium, low potassium, then you can get cramps. So the theory is basically, well, if you have less magnesium, you can get cramps. So if you take more magnesium, you won't get cramps. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that if you take magnesium, you won't get any cramps. You might have a reason for it. But that's kind of where the thinking is. But again, if you're getting cramps, have a banana. Bananas are rich in potassium, which are good for cramps. So again, a lot of the time you can just get these things from your diet. But yeah, magnesium, there's not a lot of harm in taking it if you want to try it.
What was the other one?
The last one we were going to talk about was ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha. Can I just say something? So then you're obviously going to enlighten us on it. So I used to take ashwagandha last year, and I then felt like it did something to me, like my emotions. I went numb. I couldn't react, which is a good thing because I don't want to react to things, that make me angry or whatever. But I went a bit too calm and I was like, what is this stuff, man? I was like, this is
How long were you taking it for?
I can't remember. And then I stopped. Now I've just stopped. I was like, I can't be this numb. I need to feel. I wasn't feeling anything. It was really messed up. So I stopped taking it. I can't remember what brand I was taking, but yeah, it was, yeah. So could you give us a bit of information on ashwagandha?
Yeah, so ashwagandha is a herbal medication. It's been used traditionally for a long time. The indications that it's normally given for is for like sleep, anxiety, stress, fatigue. It's supposed to improve your energy levels and like your general health. One thing I'd say about it is that we don't actually understand how it works. If we did, it might be prescribable, but yeah, we don't understand how it works. We think maybe it's got anti-inflammatory effects. Maybe it's related to a neurotransmitter in the body called GABA. So GABA is basically like your relaxatory neurotransmitter. So if you take alcohol, well, obviously, inshallah, none of us are taking alcohol. But when someone takes alcohol, the GABA levels are promoted. So the theory is that ashwagandha works in the same way. But yeah, we don't actually know how it works.
That explains why I was always so drowsy.
It could well do. As a supplement, there's evidence to say that it's safe, but in terms of long-term use and long-term safety, again, there's not a lot of studies to show that it's really got a benefit. There's actually no, from like sleep specialists, there's no specific supplement that has got enough evidence for anything to be said that they can help with sleep. So if you're really struggling with sleep, it's much better to improve your lifestyle and to try cognitive methods 100%. Than jump straight to a supplement and hope that's going to fix your sleep.
Put your phones away, guys, before sleeping.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of this myself, but honestly, like we're literally, that's the last thing we look at is our phones before sleeping. And that disrupts your sleep. And even the time that you sleep, they say that you should be sleeping at least, you shouldn't be, if you're not sleeping between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your, what's that thing called? I forgot the word. How your body functions, your circadian rhythm, that's the one. It doesn't function properly because you've not got those main hours where your body's actually recovering, your cells are recovering, your body's going through everything and just resetting itself. So yeah, guys.
Yeah, so things like ashwagandha, the way they help with sleep is that they're basically supposed to make you feel calmer. So if you feel calmer, you can go to sleep is the theory. But I heard a podcast from a sleep specialist recently. It was like, no matter what medication you take or supplements that make you feel calm, if a lion came into your room, you'd be wide awake. Nothing is going to help you sleep that much. It's all about making sure that you're calm and relaxed. So yeah, there is some evidence to show that ashwagandha works. But again, not a lot. And the fact that we don't know how it works, it is important to be aware of that we don't actually know how it works. So they're like a few of the ones that we were going to discuss.
Hannah, so we are on 2 minutes 30 seconds. So some myth busters, okay?
Yeah.
So this is just a bit of a fun bit before we end the thing.
Yeah.
Natural means safe, true or false?
Very false, very false. So just because something like I said, just because something's natural, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have side effects. Natural and herbal products do have side effects. They interact with modern medicines, like prescribable medicines. They can damage your liver, your kidneys. Not to say that they all will do that, but it is important to keep in mind that they have the potential to do that. So natural does not mean safe.
More supplements equals better health. That's definitely,
Yeah, that's definitely a myth. I mean, people who are promoting supplements and getting paid for it might say differently. But again, you can get a lot of these supplements by improving your diet and lifestyle. And again, as I said, for a lot of them, they're generally safe and they might give you some benefit. So, again, it's about doing the research. And if you are looking to buy a herbal remedy, look for the ones that have the traditional herbal registration. That's a government licensing. That if you're looking for a reliable supplement, choose those ones over the ones that are being promoted online that are probably just getting made in someone's back garden.
So, guys, Hannah, we've only got a minute left, so I've just been told to wrap up. I don't do well with time, guys. Probably a lot of people already know that.
I was just going to say, if anyone does want more information, I've got all the resources and links that you can DM me on Instagram on Pharma Drama, and I can send them all across. And I do post about this kind of stuff on my page.
Yeah, so please
And just
get
one more
following
thing I was
Hannah.
going to mention. There's a website called the MSKCC Memorial Sloan Kettering Center. It's actually a cancer center, but they have a whole website. It's called About Herbs, which is all about herbal medicines, and it's very patient friendly. So if you're looking at evidence and where to turn, that is the best website to look at.
All right, guys. I hope today's conversation helped you guys, and I hope you guys took a lot of knowledge in it. There was a few questions that we didn't get time to answer.
Send them on Instagram and answer them.
So just ask Hannah the questions. She'll answer everything. May Allah put a lot of barakah into your work and everything that you do, Hannah. It was lovely having you. And